This year for the holidays, Massdrop has a collection of over 20 of their most popular Massdrop made products with 2 to 3 day shipping for pre-Christmas delivery. Exhibit A, the EMU Purple Heart headphones with lightweight construction, comfortable ear pads, and solid wood ear cups for a standout look. Click the link in the description and check out the holiday gift collection at Massdrop.
What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Today I'm taking a look at a smorgasbord of USB Type-C products. These are devices, accessories, etc. that we're going to be taking a closer look at today. I pretty much just bought all of these on Amazon. I'll put links in the description below in case you're interested. But these weren't really purchased based off of anything more than user reviews. I tried to pick out all the ones that seem to have high ratings and just personal interest, things that happened to pique my interest. I felt like, hey, this might be kind of interesting to showcase to you guys. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. The reason why we're doing this video in the first place is because USB Type-C, while it is still far away from becoming the universal mainstream USB interface, I mean, it still has a long way to go before it replaces micro USB, for example, it is still becoming increasingly popular, especially here at the end of 2017, where we're seeing more devices than ever supporting this new interface, such as your smartphone. Google Pixel that I have here is a USB Type-C phone. It's also wiggled its way into laptops, especially those supporting Thunderbolt 3, which is a super versatile technology. We'll take a closer look at that later on. And motherboards. I mean, we've got motherboard USB 3.1 Type-C headers now, just natively baked in, as well as, we're starting to see more and more Type-C front panel on mid-tower and full-tower cases. So it's super exciting. This should give you guys a pretty good idea of what sort of Type-C devices you can start using now as we sort of witness the wider spread adoption of this new interface. So on that note, let's dive right in and see what we have in store. So here we have a USB charging cable. Try to contain your excitement, but no, this is actually kind of cool. Hear me out on this first. We've got a USB Type-A connection on one end and a magnetic tip with just some electronic pins on the other, and this actually includes 3 individual tips or connections that you can pop on and off at your leisure. We've got a lightning connector for your Apple devices, micro USB, and USB Type-C. Just pop it on, it's magnetic, super cool. I guess the idea here is that it's super versatile. You only have to have one cable and yet it can support 3 different connections. The downfall here that I'm seeing is that no one's gonna carry around all 3 of these heads on them at any time. They're pretty much gonna use the one connection that they prefer, and it's gonna stay that way. Or they're gonna end up losing the other 2 because they're so tiny, it didn't come with like a pouch or anything. So really the main selling point for me here isn't versatility or flexibility, but rather ease of use. Because with, Type-C, for starters, in its defense, is already as good as it gets when it comes to just how easy it is to plug something in. It's reversible, it's nice and wide, it's fairly large, much bigger than micro USB, and you wouldn't really think that there'd be a need to make the connection process for this interface any easier. But that being said, if you pop in the connection into your phone, for example, connecting is pretty much as easy as putting the cable within proximity of the magnet, and there you go. I could see this being really useful if you're one of those people who has like a car mount, like a windshield mount for your phone in your car, obviously. You can pretty much just keep this plug in there 24/7 if you wanted to, and if you have one of these cables in your car, when it's time to connect, you pretty much just put it up there. There's no force or pressure that you have to exert. It goes and connects really easily. It's a pretty strong magnet. It will pull out the connection, or it usually does pull out the connection if you just pull it straight back, like that Type-C header came along with it. But you can easily just pull the cable quickly or at an angle if you want to keep that magnetic tip inside of your phone at all times. It features a 3.3 foot braided nylon cable, so it doesn't get snagged very easily. It's very soft to the touch and fairly high quality. And finally, it does have an activity LED on the magnetic end, so you know when the cable's in use. Next up, we've got the SanDisk Ultra Dual Drive. This is a 128 gigabyte model that I picked up for 36 bucks, although the capacities range anywhere from 32 to 256 gigs. It has sort of a lightweight construction with either metal or aluminum and plastic. I can't tell if it's metal or aluminum, but at any rate, it feels sturdy enough. It's the quality is nothing to write home about. It's pretty typical from what you'll find on most SanDisk products, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna break in your hand the day you get it either. It's incredibly small and portable, which is why I appreciate the fact we've got some keyring holes, although I wish they were a little bigger. I feel like a full-size keyring would be hard-pressed to fit inside of here. What I like about this drive is that it has dual retracting connectors, so you've got USB Type-C on one end and Type-A on the other, depending on how you switch it. And this is going to be supporting USB 3.1 Gen 1, so only 5 gigabits per second here, unfortunately, but it is hitting the advertised speeds of 150 megabytes per second reads, and I believe it was getting around 60 to 70 megabytes per second writes, so not too terrible. Honestly, for the price, it's a fantastic little drive, and I would highly recommend this, honestly. I'll probably be putting it on my own keys when I get a chance. Lastly, in case you guys were wondering, yes, this does support OTG or on-the-go technology with supported devices. So if I had my Pixel 2 here, I could pop this guy in and pretty much watch any movies or listen to any music that are saved on the flash drive straight on my smartphone. Moving on, we have a 5-in-1 USB Type-C adapter. This is going to be a great accessory for those of you who are on the go who have a laptop with a Type-C connection. Obviously, we have a Type-C connector on one end, looks to be gold-plated, and that's actually attached to this short cable, relatively short cable that is not detachable. I'd actually prefer it that way for smaller accessories like this, so you don't accidentally bring the hub and forget the cable at home. You never find yourself SOL in that regard. On the hub itself, we get two USB 3.0 Type-A ports that support both charging and data transfer. Alongside that, some card readers for SD, microSD, and TF cards, and finally an HDMI out that's capable of outputting up to 4K. I believe it's at 30 Hertz, however, because I would assume that this is an HDMI 1.4 port. Altogether, a nice little device. It's made of an aluminum alloy, fairly lightweight, again, super portable, easy to just sort of throw into your backpack and go. Now, if you happen to be a proud M.2 NVMe SSD owner and your old M.2 SATA-based drive has been sitting there collecting dust, this product might help you repurpose that for better use. This is the WeMe M.2 SATA-based external enclosure that helps you convert an M.2 SATA-based SSD into an external flash drive. It's fairly straightforward. There's a PCB inside of here with an M.2 B key mount, so only B key SSDs will work. Fortunately, it does support the full gamut of 30, 42, 60, and 80 millimeter drives, but again, it's only going to work with SATA-based M.2 drives, so don't bother putting an NVMe drive in here. Once you screw it down to the PCB, you pretty much slide that back into the enclosure and tighten it up with the two included screws. The enclosure itself has a Type-C connector that supports USB 3.1 Gen 1, unfortunately. It does have a really nice bite to it when you plug in the included cable, which is also just a really nice length. It's a very sturdy, solid cable as well with a Type-A connection at the other end. It does support trim and UASP, which are fantastic features to have for a device like this. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Kyle, what's with all this USB 3.1 Gen 1 crap? We want to see the Gen 2 stuff. Give it to me. I hear you. I hear you, fellas. And ladies, any ladies out there? Maybe? Okay, no, it's cool. So for all you Gen 2 fanatics out there, this may interest you. It's basically a simple expansion card that outputs to a pair of USB Type-C 3.1 Gen 2 ports, capable of outputting 5 volts and 2 amps. This thing's absolutely fantastic. It has a really nice kind of black sort of powder-coated finish here on the expansion slot. They also included a low-profile half-height slot. So if you have like an older PC or like a server-based, like a slim case or something like that, you could use this for that as well. It's also fairly inexpensive. How much did I pay for this thing? 20 bucks. Honestly, not too bad at all. And again, no additional power required. It gets all of its juice from either an X4, X8, or X16 slot on your motherboard. Supports all the way back to PCIe Gen 1, and overall just a nice little unit. A very simple, straightforward, and affordable solution to expanding the USB Type-C connectivity on your system. Now, most of the products we've talked about so far kind of celebrate the adoption of USB Type-C, but if we're being honest with ourselves, it's still a long ways off from becoming the mainstream USB interface. So for that reason alone, you should be prepared for situations where Type-C isn't available to you when you desperately need it. Me, for example, I have a Google Pixel 2 with a Type-C connector for charging, and whenever I go somewhere, I usually have a Type-C to C cable on me, but not everywhere I go actually has a Type-C supported charger. Whether it be a wall adapter or someone's laptop or computer, Type-C ports just aren't available very much right now. So for that reason, I picked up this mini Type-C female to USB Type-A male adapter to sort of fix that issue. It supports 5 amp charging and data transfer. It's made of aluminum alloy and all that jazz. I mean, at the end of the day though, it's just a simple adapter that I feel every avid Type-C user should have in their arsenal. You know what I like even more than that adapter though? These adapters. These adapters are awesome. This is a micro USB female to Type-C male, And the reason why this rocks is because I guarantee you if I ever went over a family member's house or a friend's house, none of them would have anything that I could use to charge my Google Pixel, or any Type-C device for that matter. They probably don't even know what it looks like. But this is great because I guarantee you they would all at least have a couple micro USB cables, because it's just so widely adopted at this point. And with one of these, especially the fact that it's keychained, means you'll never leave home without it. It can just be on you 24/7. It's gonna be a complete lifesaver. I'm planning to put one of these on my personal keychain as soon as this video is over, because I know sooner or later I'm gonna have to use it. And it's fantastic build quality. Even the chain's really not too bad. Even if it does happen to break off or something like that, it comes in a 4-pack, so you have plenty of backups. And last but certainly not least is this USB-C triple display docking station from the folks over at Pluggable. This thing's super cool because it sort of showcases the full extent of what USB-C is capable of, especially when you pair it with a technology like Thunderbolt 3. It really opens up a lot of possibilities. For example, if you have a supported Thunderbolt 3 Type-C laptop, you could take a single USB-C cable, run it from that laptop to the docking station here, and from there you have a wide list of various I/O that you can connect to. For starters, at the front, you get mic and headphone jacks. Those are both 3.5mm, a single USB 3.0 Type-A and Type-C port at the front. On the back side, you get an additional 3 USB 3 Type-A ports, gigabit Ethernet port, and 3 video outputs. 2 of these ports can handle either 1080 at 60 Hz or 2560 by 1440 at 50 Hz. The second HDMI port that has the white background can output 4K at 30 Hz. Unfortunately, it doesn't do 60 Hz. That would have been nice, but again, this isn't really targeted at enthusiast gamers or anything. This is more for productivity and web browsing and things like that. The docking station also provides up to 60 watts of power, which means it can actually charge your laptop while it's being connected without any additional AC adapters. I mean, let this all sink in for a second, guys. A single USB-C cable is driving 3 displays, one of which is at 4K, a multitude of USB 3 devices, sound, and it's charging your laptop all at the same time. I mean, if you're looking to convert your laptop into the most desktop-like experience, save for, any gaming capabilities really, then this is pretty much the product that you want. And I really haven't seen too many alternatives like it that have been reviewed quite as highly. So again, guys, if you want to check all this stuff out, it will be in the description below. Before you guys go, let me know which one of these products was your favorite. Did anyone stand out to you over the others? Do you plan to buy anything that you saw today? Let me know in the comments below. Apart from that, be sure to toss me a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and feel free to subscribe to the channel for more tech stuff coming at you really soon. You can also watch this video and others like it a week early on Floatplane. Go ahead and check that out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Have a good one, guys. I will see you all in the next video.